Dear Grace, I had recorded half of a second podcast yesterday, but seemed to have lost it, which is okay. It wasn't that great, except for I did have some video of a cat. Can you believe, Grace, that there's a guy out there that makes videos of random cats just walking through neighborhoods? He probably makes an entire living at it. On YouTube and TikTok and all that. That's what I like to put on my resume. Cat TikToker. But then why would you need a resume? You'd be self-employed. Anyways, Grace, I guess that was my thought of the day. I was trying to find new places to record, but this place seems to work the best for now, so maybe I'll make it a habit. Or maybe not. We'll see. Two plants randomly mated up to 1 million years ago to give rise to one of the world's most popular drinks. We gotta find this out. I'm gonna say it's mint, but Arabica, fine, coffee. See, that's why. I also like this spot for the applause breaks. And I can see people coming near me from like a block away. Tesla rewards dedicated worker who showered at factory and slept in his car by firing him. There's probably more to that story, but it's a great headline. Clickbait got me. Sorry, there's a lot going on here. People walking by, my thumb, finger, whatever. BC landlord tries to evict 80-year-old renter for having son stay. That sounds like a cunt. Scientists discover breakthrough material that can store greenhouse gases faster than trees. The evolutionary psychology of Murphy's Law. Tesla share shore. Like when I do finally get on stage, this is what I'll do for an hour ahead of time. Don't think about the jokes, think about something else. I'm probably wrong, but who gives a fuck? Tesla shares soar as Elon Musk returns from China with FSD game changer. See, Elon can work with China, why can't others? Bolivier, or whatever the fuck his name is, pushes federal liberals on drug decriminalization after BC reverses. Well, if you're for free speech, you're for free drug use too. Missing cat found in Amazon warehouse after being shipped in return box. That's him. He does look a little traumatized. But, to be fair, that's what cats are like. Prehistoric burial site reveals surprising secrets of hunter-gatherer diet. Ooh, I wonder what surprise. Not sure coffee's the best thing for me to drink in the morning, but genetic adaptations have impacted the blood compositions of two populations from Papua New Guinea. Our state of mind slides across a spectrum. Here's how to find the sweet spot. No shit. Fuck, these guys are idiots. Ooh, good. Museum for a lesson. Here's how you raise kids. Teach them to read, let them read, feed them. Barley plants fine-tune their root microbial communities through sugary secretions. Barley plants fine-tune their root microbial communities through sugary secretions. Not even close. A mathematical bridge between the huge and the tiny. Yeah, I'll look for that for a while. Google techie on boss. Half his team getting laid off at night. My hands were shaking. Smartphones will be obsolete in 10 years, says Meta's AI chief. Nightmare Simple Vancouver home reno soars to 1 million. Takes 8 years, thanks to city rules. Riding an e-bike for a year saved me money and improved my life. Speak of the devil, I think an e-bike's coming down the street, right on the applause break. Couldn't write this shit if I tried. Experts call for more safe drug use spaces. Well, make up your fucking mind. Let's give them safe spaces, but then charge them. Sure. Or with a criminal act. Refugee attends open house at downtown Eastside affordable housing facility. Refugee attends open house. Adopting a new identity after reaching a goal. A new psychological skill measures the aversiveness of disliked music. Aversiveness. Robots versus animals. Who wins the race in natural settings? T-Rex not as smart as previous claim, scientists find. How the fuck would they ever figure that out? An exceptionally high number of neurons. How the fuck would they know if they don't have one? Just because they have neurons don't mean they actually are fucking doing anything. I'm a memory researcher. Here's how I never forget someone's name. Well, I do it the opposite. I just forget everyone's fucking name. And it doesn't matter. Fastest spinning asteroid recently hit Earth's atmosphere and crashed in Berlin. All of the universe's disorder explained in 6 minutes. Wow, 6 minutes. That would kill 6 minutes. is officially an old person park now. You got me sitting on a bench, another old person running. And that's it. Alright. All universes disorder explained in 6 minutes. Two men sentenced for using internet to sell fentanyl-laced pills responsible for multiple deaths. ChatGPT Plus just got a major update that might make it feel more human. Here's how the new memory Vancouver-born database for combating bike theft expands across BC. Decision-making deficits predict social difficulties in children with ADHD. Plastics treaty talks in Canada, sharp disagreement on whether to limit plastic production. An El Nino-less summer is coming. Here's what that could mean for the U.S. Canada's economy grows. StatCan. Tunnel boring for Broadway subway reaches full completion. Photos. Wow. Some aquatic and community center opens in New West. Aquatic and community center. Wow. If I can't pronounce those other words, not a fucking chance. But it looks like this might be a nice place to go and swim. As soon as I get skinnier, Grace. Letter BC is using a sledgehammer to alter the urban fabric of Burnaby. Oh, fight back. Douglas Todd, shade problem stretches far beyond Brentwood's high-rises. So shade problem stretches beyond Brentwood's high-rises. Ha ha ha. Finally. Sorry, took a short break there to open up my sinuses. So I can breathe. A little chickadee in the tree. Guy running by. Burnaby hosting free Canucks playoff viewing party. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Canucks can earn a full week of rest if they finish off Predators tonight. 5 places to visit in India that should be on your bucket list. Grace? The older we get, the lonelier we get. Heartbreaking study reveals. Doesn't surprise me. Why do some have high blood pressure while others don't? I don't think they know fuck all about blood pressure, to be honest with you, Grace. Worried about your mental? Worried about your health? Your feet can tell you if you're in bad shape or even dying. Which dogs face the highest cancer risk? Studies. It's hard to get in a comfortable position here. Scientists discover off-switch for brown fat and calorie burning breakthrough. I haven't been fasting, Grace, but I have got it down to one meal a day. The 7 most affordable dog food brands for pet care on budget. 1 in 4 Americans fear losing their jobs this year. What's causing it? AI robots. Measles making an alarming comeback as global cases double, and trend is getting worse. Free workshop in Montreal. The Insider's Guide to Science and Nature Filmmaking. I mean, all that stuff like that seems so irrelevant now. Everyone can just see everyone else's work and do their own. Problem of plastic bush is far from Whale Cove. Nunavut mayor says community was denied approval to help with search for missing man. Northwest Sask Farm welcomes rare quadruplet calves. Ooh. Spring storm brings wet, heavy snowfall to southern Alberta. I think July is the only month I haven't seen snow in Calgary. Edmonton police say 3 drive-by shootings connected to extortion of South Asian business. Former New Brunswick Education Minister regrets not banning cell phones in school. Boy, everyone's got a big fucking beef of cell phones all of a sudden. Trump fined $9,000 US, ordered to take down some social media posts about trial. Watchdog calls out gaps in how Canada conducts online intelligence operations. Ooh. They don't want to violate international law because, of course, they would get prosecuted. Not. But every country violates international law every single fucking day. The emergency slide that fell from Delta flight discovered in bizarre twist. Man claiming to be psychic surgeon sentenced to nearly 500 years in jail after facing over 600 accusations. Bizarre sleep disorder called sexomnia has people realizing how dangerous it can be. Sexomnia? The unusual sleep disorder can be extremely challenging for sufferers. There are many different types of sleep disorders that can affect the way a person sleeps. From not being able to sleep at all, insomnia, or sleeping too much, hypersomnia, to very pronounced sleepwalking, each of these conditions can impact someone differently. However, there's one disorder which might initially draw flippant comments from those who don't realize how much it can impact sufferers. On reflection, however, it's easy to see just how very serious the condition could be. Well, let's tell us what it is. We can fucking decide ourselves. It's called sexomnia or sleep sex and can have profound effects on people who live with it as well as their loved ones. Here we go. What is it? The condition sees patients trying to initiate sex while completely asleep and having zero recollection of it when they wake up. Oh, jeez. It is part of a group of parasomnias or sleep disorders which include sleepwalking, talking, and eating, among others. Many people are not even aware that they have the condition until a partner tells them about it. The symptoms include performing sexual actions like masturbation or fondling or making sexual noises while asleep. It doesn't take long to realize how badly this can impact a person. In short, it can ruin lives. Why can it be so dangerous? Even in less complicated cases, patients can feel a sense of profound guilt and shame when they find out they had initiated sex with no recollection. Dr. Carlo Schneck is a professor and senior staff psychiatrist at the Hennepin County Medical Center at the University of Minnesota and specializes in parasomnias. Schneck told CNN They, patients, are really embarrassed, full of shame, very apologetic, and totally miserable because they were horny in their sleep. Maybe their partner should just fucking understand that they were horny in their sleep. Clearly, these are people that aren't getting laid enough. Well, there's certain to be legal consequences from the sexual behaviors, particularly with minors, and also aggressive behavior during sleep. Well, make it clear here. So those are two different things. Sleeping with your partner is a lot different than sleepwalking and doing this, if that is the case. If it's just your partner, can it be treated? Yes, but it depends. It's all driving to take safety precautions while undergoing treatment, such as sleeping in a separate room from your partner or setting movement alarms. That's a bad idea. Being away from your partner would only make it worse, not better. That's my thought anyways. The fuck do I know? Fans devastated, totally devastated after seeing what real Malcolm in the Middle looks like years later. Devastated, eh? The Rock accused of causing $50 million of costs after turning up 8 hours late to film movie. People are just finding out what Mount Rushmore was like. Was supposed to look like before funding ran out. Chris Hemsworth. I'm not sure if I can see the screen, but we'll give this a go. AI creates Futurama characters in real life, and it's incredibly unsettling. But people really are a little emotional. Fans are devastated. These guys are unsettled. Boy 2 dies after bounce house blows away in strong wind. That would be unsettling. Futurama, not so much. Heartbreaking true crime story behind Netflix's newest drama is giving people nightmares. Might have to watch that. Netflix has some good shit on it right now. That guy is practicing his hopping. Nationwide stops lending on some flood risk properties. Incredible news for bears and wild horses as U.S. shifts preservation plans. Yep, great news that they'll never know. Can be done. Peat-free garden. can be done. Big oil privately acknowledged efforts to downplay climate crisis. Joint committee investigation finds. Now, I know there's probably a reason for him doing that. There's some exercise or some sport or something. But it does look a little funny. Be practicing jumping backwards. Or I'm sitting here talking to my phone, so who gives a fuck? Can't afford to fuck this one up. I lost like 30 minutes yesterday, Grace. Really good shit, too. The Greens are our enemy. What's fueling the far right in Germany? Megadrone forces end to sugarcane farming in Texas borderland. Tyson Foods dumps millions of pounds of toxic pollutants into U.S. rivers and lakes. UK Water Sport Forum Alliance calling on the government to tackle pollution. Bulldozers in Darwin begin destroying habitat of hundreds of birds in Lee Point, as Lee Point, Binbara construction begins. Lee Point, Binbara. See, this is the one I read yesterday. Deepest blue hole in the world discovered with hidden caves and tunnels believed to be inside. Highly pathogenic bird flu identified in dead Florida dolphin. It's because you're looking. Everywhere that you look, they're going to find bird flu now. I fucking guarantee it. A Florida bottlenose dolphin was found with avian influenza in a landmark case. I mean, it probably has everything. It probably has HIV, probably has COVID, it probably has whatever. Or just keep testing and you'll find one that does. 2,000 plus genetic signals linked to blood pressure discovery and study of over 1 million people. Data from the void. NASA receives laser communications from 140 plus million miles away. SpaceX Dragon spacecraft splashes down, completing ISS resupply mission. Challenging previous theory, mantle heat rejuvenated Earth's crust 3 billion years ago. Canada's wrongful conviction problem isn't getting the attention it deserves. Charlie Buck, Canadian conservatism, judicial revolution is only gaining strength. Right, so now he's jumping up, spinning 180 degrees and landing. I know, maybe some practicing for VR. Pieces of distant asteroids show bombardment that happens to objects in space. Watch live. China launches rocket carrying 3 astronauts to Tiangong space station 5 days ago. All right. Olivier, whatever. Let's give him a nickname, Grace. We'll call him Mr. P. Mr. P kicked up the Commons over unparliamentary comments. Protesters take over Columbia University building in escalation of Israel-Hamas war demonstrations. BC Strata must allow injured women to keep inflatable hot tub on deck. New Westminster's Literary Bridges Festival highlights local authors. Speaker kicks Mr. P out of Commons over unparliamentary comments. Yeah, that'll work. 3 fund managers are playing the energy bull market. North Shore Development residents can no longer speak up. Why no drinking? Voting? Letters? Understanding the rationale for some BC laws can be challenging. Drug addicts inject heroin or other toxic illegal drugs pretty much anywhere, including public parks and places. The same for those using marijuana. On some public beaches, such as in Penticton, alcohol is allowed to be consumed on the beach. However, if you're a boater, you need to have a yacht that has sleeping accommodations, a stove and a toilet in order for anyone on board to have or consume a beverage. Have or consume alcohol. I suppose this is to encourage the use of illicit drugs by everyone, so there are no restrictions. Tensions high as pro-Palestinian protests spread at U.S. colleges. 100 crying baby faces. 100 crying babies face off at sumo festival. Who doesn't want to see 100 babies cry? Yeah, that's where we should get them fighting as babies. And pictures. What's the point of that? Right? That is fucking weird. Montreal to hire hunters to kill 140 white-tailed deer in East something. Legendary restaurant chain closes its high-profile Burnaby test. Sorry for the pause, but what if that sun goes behind the clouds? Get too cold to talk or read or something. Protesters take over Columbia University. I'm going to stick by with my solution. Send an EMP over any two countries fighting right now. Give them a reset. Force them to repurchase every single electronic in the country. Give them something to do for a while. And they won't be thinking about sending bombs back and forth. They won't be able to. They have to get new bombs. If all the other countries don't give it to them, then that leaves hand to hand. Do it the old-fashioned way. Ooh. Having said that, big ass heron flying by. Circling. Maybe it's a vulture. Could be. First reading. The Canada top in global rankings Ottawa doesn't want you to know about. Alright. What's Canada bad at? Fastest growing rate of euthanasia deaths, highest carbon taxes outside France, second only to the US in drug deaths. Well, euthanasia is by choice, so that's not a bad thing, that's their choice. Highest carbon taxes, don't even know how that fucking works. Second only to the US in drug deaths. TransLink slammed over 8K car-free family savings post. Yeah, we read that yesterday, but yeah. Some of those TransLink security guards have a bit of an attitude, but Government of Canada to hold immediate availability to respond to the tabling of the commissioners of the don't care. New Westminster Hayek Festival boosts family-friendly parade. I'm an autistic psychologist. Here are 5 signs of autism that I missed during childhood. Okay, this might be interesting. Since April is Autism Acceptance Month, I've been thinking about my own neurodivergence. I'm an autistic psychologist who specializes in identifying autism. For years, I assessed other people without realizing I was part of the community I was trying to support. It was not until I found a community with other autistics through social media that I began to realize there was a reason I felt so connected to these clients, because they had something in common. After learning I was autistic, I began looking back and was, okay, sorry Grace, but if you're a psychologist and you can't self-diagnose yourself long ago, I don't know. I mean, no offense, but if you can't diagnose yourself, should you really be diagnosing others? Just a thought, Grace. We lost our daughter to mental health, and now fighting for necessary resources for other families. Infant's grandparents killed in Highway 401 crash after police pursued from LCBO robbery. That is the cops' fault. Judge is expected to hear injunction request. Oh, nice hopping on one foot. This guy really likes hopping. 1 foot backwards. To be fair, I'd probably fall over. Brock University launches review after professor compares Israel Nazis. So I guess no free speech in Canada. Premier's announcement on transgender policies surprised Alberta Health Services Advisory Group. Well, let's see what this is. New road rules coming in for passing pedestrians and cyclists behind the wheel. Justice Minister says recent protests over Israeli-Hamas war at his home crossed a line. Get butthurt. Sorry, pal. Your wife and kids are not being harassed. They're being showing the power of peaceful protest. you don't like it, resign. Canadian cannabis stocks spike as U.S. reportedly set to reclassify marijuana. Whoa. I just clued in on this whole fucking thing. If the U.S. makes weed legal, a lot of Canadian companies are going to be rich quick. Because they have everything set up, everything ready to go. The U.S., not as much. Maybe. I could be wrong about that. Who the fuck knows? Less frequent rule changes mandated for BC manufactured home parks. How do people live under rules, Grace? That's the part I don't understand. On camera, the Soyuz Osprey pair lay their first egg of the season. Oliver Soyuz News. O's. Alice Creek Dog Park in Penticton reopens with improvements. Penticton News. 47 minutes, 13 minutes. Vernon Yacht Club Boat and Leisure Show returns this weekend. Vernon News. Dealing with the invasion and damaging threat of the subterranean termites. Think local. Semi-truck spills load on Seymour Street after clipping downtown Kamloops office building. Yikes. Penticton Chamber of Commerce pleased with the provincial pivot on public drug use. I'll tell you this. When I was in Penticton, probably more prevalent than what I see in the Vancouver area, but still, never been harassed by a public drug user. But then again, I go out during the day. Go out at 3 in the morning, you may get harassed. BC dentists wary of federal dental plan before launch. 8 U.S. newspapers sue ChatGPT maker OpenAI and Microsoft for copyright infringement. Experience elevated living at Predator Ridge luxury houses. Toronto's police chief apologizes for comments made after man acquitted in cop death. Yeah. Probably said something snarky. Just try that, fucking internet. Democrats say they will save Speaker Mike Johnson's job if Republicans try to oust him. World News. City TV's long-running show Cityline cancelled. More moves to breakfast television. Canada News. Jim Jeffries, Jimmy Carr bringing double headlining show to Kelowna. Holy shit, those are two pretty big people. Why don't you buy some tickets for that, Grace? If you're rich. Enderby Starlight Drive in theater opening for 2024 season. That'd be fun too. Discover lakefront luxury with this award-winning. Let's take Castanet's take on Canada News. Shake Shack reveals plans for first Canadian locations at Yonge Dundas Square, Canada. Animal activists thrilled after parts of Ontario agriculture law unconstitutional. I see, okay. Animal advocates are celebrating after parts of a controversial Ontario agricultural law that made it illegal to get a job on a farm under false pretenses to expose conditions inside were deemed unconstitutional. I mean, everyone lies on their fucking job resumes, so what's the difference? Put fucking cameras everywhere. They got nothing to hide. Crank up the CCTV. Let us watch. Auto man who lauded Hamas pleads guilty to breaking bail conditions. Alberta municipality says proposed provincial law would create chill effect. We are serious. Alberta government's those S's are just a bit too much. We are serious. Alberta government's master plan to expand rail passenger service. Canada News. McGill University calls pro-Palestine encampment illegal. Campers vow to stay. Public property. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. Climate change, not habitat loss, may be the biggest threat to caribou herds. Study. Global negotiations on a treaty to end plastic pollution at critical phase in Canada. International students will be allowed to work 24 hours a week starting in September. Majority of aspiring homeowners Trans Mountain Pipeline Project ushers a new era for oil sands hub Fort McMurray. Airline caterer Gate Gourmet reaches tentative deal with striking workers. Deeply unhappy, grocery shoppers plan to boycott Loblaw-owned stores in May. Ontario introduced plan to limit cell phone use. Workplace safety officials investigating truck driver death at Port of Montreal. The world is too messy for bureaucratic hurdles. Canada still bars Afghanistan aid. Haida elder suing Catholic Church and priest hoping for healing and reconciliation. Fucking Catholic Church. Canada recognizes housing as a human right. Few provinces have followed suit. Violation. CISA said officer investigated after she reported a superior raped her. I just want to be safe. Ukrainian man in Canada faces limbo amid consular freeze. Jerry Seinfeld says the extreme left and PC crap kill TV comedy. Alberta First Nation challenges Imperial Oil on energy transition impact. Here the average. And engineering says he found a way to overcome Earth's gravity yesterday. Alright, let's see it. Discovering a machine that could somehow produce thrust without releasing propellant would be a game changer for human space travel. With just one problem: such a device would defy the laws of physics. This limitation does not stop people from investigating. Let's change that to the known currently known laws of physics, but this limitation has not stopped people from investigating the possibility in the latest addition to the propellant list club in an electrostatic design developed by a former NASA engineer. The company behind the drive, Exodus Propulsion Technology, says that the drive can achieve a thrust to counteract Earth's gravity. Such a claim still needs independent verification and a healthy dose of skepticism. 2001, British electrical engineer Roger Shah first introduced the impossible drive, known as the M drive. It was called impossible because its creator purported that the drive was reactionless, meaning no propeller required. In other words, define the known laws of physics, specifically the conservation of motion. Nasty norovirus on the rise in Canada. Symptoms to know and how to stay safe as contagious virus spreads at higher frequencies. Better get working on that vaccine. A psychologist explains the spoon theory of well-being. Big applause break. All right. For many people, day-to-day life is a series of relatively easy errands, appointments, and to-dos. For others, however, keeping up with daily routines can be a monumental effort, and on hard days, even the bare minimum can seem like an impossible feat. It's not uncommon for struggling individuals to be left wondering how It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for struggling individuals to be left wondering how those around them manage to thrive so easily, let alone get out of bed. Many of us know this feeling all too well, others may not. The fact alone can be frustrating for those familiar with the experience. However, we now know this phenomenon can be understood with what is referred to as spoon theory. This spoon theory. The term was conceptualized by Christine somebody in her essay titled The Spoon Theory, which follows her response to the question of what it's like to live with chronic illness. She explained the difficulty in finding the words to describe such a constant, yet inexplicable experience. Oh, way too complicated. I like the spoon theory in bed. Big spoon or little spoon? Grace? Confusion and hilarity break out after flight crew find a 101-year-old woman instead of a baby. Okay. When patients do their own research. Oh, how dare they? Because doctors fucking know everything about fucking everything? Fuck that. Patients should do their own research and then find a fucking doctor that'll support them. Apparently all the doctors are too fucking busy doing something else. Don't want to end on a sad note, so we'll find something good here. Not looking good, Grace. I think we just have to end it. Why is it so hard to shower when I'm depressed? It's because you feel like you're getting back into your body. Anyways, that's it, Grace. Thanks for listening. Talk to you tomorrow.